what the hell do you have on? So
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dry Down. Welcome to a Connoisseur's Conversation. Today, we're going to step into a different stream. We're going to talk about the discourse around fragrances that are out of the mainstream. This is one of the conversations that I truly love to have, where I'm going to break down a fragrance in review form that is from the actual construction, the projection, the CIs, the packaging. I'm going to talk about a fragrance in totality because this one I believe needs to be talked about more often than not. Today's scent, we're going to talk about Cuir Velours by the house of Naomi Goodsir. A beautiful, beautiful leathery tobacco fragrance that is luxurious. It has this tactile suede inspired fragrance note that is just beautifully done. It's equal parts sexy, equal parts artistry, and that's what I'm going to get across to you in this particular connoisseur's conversation. I've given this a solid score. This is a score of 88 out of 100. This is one of those fragrances that I think you truly need to get on your radar. If you're one who likes to go after fragrances from less intimidables like Vanilla Van, if you're one who wants to go and find fragrance from TRNP, if you want a niche perfume, even though I will say this, Naomi Goodsir is an artist, and she was an artist first, not a designer, but an artist, and she's brought to market different products of tactile feel. She dove into what it is, just like I would say Marc-Antoine Barrois, where he's a designer who come into luxury fragrances and created his own brand. She's been out since around 2010. She's made some fabulous scent profiles for us to get on our skin, and one of the best that I've had in my collection, and a second bottle of this particular year, is Cuir Velours. This is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. And so if this sounds like the type of content that you think you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching The Dry Down, where we explore scents, we explore art, we explore fragrance, cigars, wines. We are The Dry Down. This is segment of the internet that you've come upon where we're talking about textures of memory and textures of elegance. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome to today's wonderful experience. This is going to be an unfolding story about Cuir Velours. I'm going to do the best I can to give you as much information I can about this particular scent. First thing I like to talk about is the composition. Head, heart, and base. I give that a score of a 46 out of 50. It's going to be wonderful to hear about this particular scent profile. So let's build on that particular notion as we step into what it is to have Cuir Velours. So what you have with Cuir Velours, in the head notes, it opens with this buttery suede richness. And that is then this, the buttery suadeness of this one is one that is soaked in this sumptuous boozy note profile that's not quite boozy. It's one of those profiles that you would think it smells of a concoction of rum or cognac, but it's very much so in that tobacco, hay, honey feel where it comes across as a buttery, smooth, boozy note. And that is inviting because it is the rum accord. And we know that most times some of the spicier cognac scents can be off-putting, but the rum accord is always one that's nice, goes on the skin, is the sweet sugarcane feel, and it's sexy. And so the inviting rum and tobacco in this one, in the actual opening, it's sexy, it's all ever. The immortelle, it brings this honey caramel-like facet to it, which is sweetness that almost tastes and feels edible when you spray it on your skin. Some people, I think, compare it to spilling like this ambery scent profile on your skin. Just putting on something of a luxury suede jacket, hence the way I'm wearing today's outfit. This is to portray what it is to have this particular scent on. Just a beautiful tobacco suede leather that it is. It's just wonderful. It's ambery, it's smooth, it's luxurious. And for me, that's the way it starts. The heart notes then take you into this transitional sex appeal that is tobacco suede, that is softened then by incense and a sexy, sexy labdanum. That makes it deeper, that makes it warmer, that makes it a very much so tactile texture of sensuality while still having this gritty notation to it. The scent is one that permeates around you with great sillage and projection. But what you get in that mid, once it goes into that 25 to 35 minute mark and it starts to portray the mid, the incense is one of the most seductive incense fragrances, along with that tobacco and hair accord that comes off sexy and appealing. The sweetness of that warmth, the sweetness of that resin, and the elegance of that resin is not cloying. It is one that is feeling of a plushness. It's that fine leather glove, that doe skin glove, that caress of skins leather that is just wonderful. Like this particular jacket, I once again state, this is a goat skin Valstar leather, and it's one that feels like a second skin on the body, just as this fragrance does. Sexy, sexy, sexy into that. Once it does a development to the base accords of about 4 hours in, 3.5 hours in, you get this sexy, sexy dry down. It is a tapestry of rum, honeyed rose, like this rock rose labdanum. Then you get the incense and this quietly glowing tobacco note, which has this ambery nuance to it. They really did a great job of making this one of the most velvety, smooth, enveloping tapestries in a fragrance that you can get your nose on. This is one, like I said, it's been out since 2012. It's time to put this back into the limelight. It's one of those fragrances that really need to talk about, bring some appeal to, and let you guys know that it's both sexy, gourmand, beautifully tactile suede, and then honeyed profiles with rum and immortelle flower. It's one of those fragrances that you need to get your nose on. Like I stated, it's one, when you talk about a storytelling of a scent, this one tells the story of elegance, layered sex appeal, and unforgettable presence. And like I stated, 46 out of 50, that's one of the highest scores I've given in any of my review forms, because it is just that well made and just that well done. Julien Rasquinet is the perfumer who penned this particular scent, and Naomi Goodsir is the person who gave the brief. And I think that what she is known for, like I said, her artistry. She uses a lot of leather and suede in her artistry. Her building of her world of art has been around the tactile feel of leather, suedes, and I think that they did an incredible job of portraying the soft, smooth suede in this particular scent profile. Now, she does have another scent that I won't discuss deeply, but I'll just touch on it. It's called Equus Corpus, and that's the tannery of horsehide. Truly a distant fragrance from what you get here. It's a leather, rough, tumble, just rugged, western, cowboy leather that smells of rugged. It's sophisticated, but it's off-putting and pungent. This one here is more sexy, more daunting of a sex appeal, more elegant. And at the end of the day, it's one of those fragrances that really has a calling card of sex appeal, allure, just a provocation of sex appeal. That's what it is. That's the scent profile. That's why I gave this a 46 out of 50. Now, gentlemen, ladies, when it comes to the sillage and projection and also the longevity, I gave that a score of 16 out of 20. On skin, Cuir Velours projects warmly. It projects very, very creamy. It's something that doesn't scream. It's enveloping, and it's not one of those super nuclear projectors. That's what I love about this one, man. It's one of those scents that once you want someone to get closer to you. You don't want this to be a scent that screams from 5 or 6 feet away, because you want someone. You walk towards them and you become someone in their bubble of 3 to 5 feet by being flirtatious. This one is not nuclear level, and so it won't make them feel like you're too much. You're not trying too hard to impress. You're not trying too hard to be someone that has that I'm the cologne guy feel. And this one does a beautiful trick on the skin with that. So it's one that will draw people closer, and that's why you want it in your skin, because this one, it is praised for its longevity, and I also can say that that's a redeeming quality of it when it talks about the projection and sillage, because while it's not a slouch, the actual longevity is a mile long with moderate sillage. I think that in this one, the notes, they become deeper, richer, the longer you wear it, the texture, the presence, it becomes sexier, and it's just the right touch of sweetness that becomes more and more enveloping for you and your character and your persona when you want to go out on a date night, when you want to feel sexy, when you want to feel appealing. You wear something like Cuir Velours. I get a solid 7 to 8 hours of projection sillage, so the actual performance on this one is fine. It's phenomenal wearing. The life of this one, it evolves. It has a smooth sweetness, it has a suede warmth, it has an incense lace amber, and it becomes sexy. That's why I told you I got a 16 out of 20 score on this particular scent profile from the house of Naomi Goodsir. A performer that shapes moments without dominating them. That's what you want for this one. You want your personality to pop. You want to feel like they have to understand you and not understand that you want to wear a loud fragrance. This is that particular scent. It's very, very sexy, and it's one that I must reiterate. Alluring, sexy, and just downright evocative of sexuality. That's the actual scent profile. That's the actual performance. Now let's get into the presentation. Now, as you see here, the aesthetic is boutique chic, I'll say. It's not one that is ostentatious. It's one that's boutique chic, boutique elegance. It comes finely crafted bottle. This rectangular bottle is one that is classic. It stands tall. It's a 50 ml bottle. It's one that you put on your shelf, and if it's backlit, it's going to look wonderful on shelves. It has a nice little a fabric tonality to the sticker. It's not a cheap sticker. It's one that has a very tactile feel to it. The bottles, the sprayers are wonderful. If you can see that in the air, the dispersant, the scent profile is just great. It's a pressurized, I can't even get the name out of my head right now, but a pressurized atomizer. And that makes this one of the nicer, and the glass, I'll say that. The glass is a thick glass. You can't really see it portrayed in the bottle, but it is a thicker glass than you would actually assume that it is when you get it into your collection in your hands. What I would say about this, what I've learned about the actual bottles is that she designed them, and that she made them with a company in Grasse, France. And every detail, every artisanal whisper that she wanted to put into this luxury perfume and luxury bottle, she brought her artistry to, and she actually made a great one. Previously, the tops were different. They have made a different plastic top. I believe when I had my first bottle, that the top was actually metal. Now the tops are plastic, which is a little bit of a knock. So you'll get a little bit of a backdraw on the score to bring this down from an 8 or 9 when it comes to presentation to like a 6 or a 7. The presentation, it's a wise design. It's a simple design, and it's thoughtful and evocative of luxury without ostentatiousness. I rate this one, like I said, a 6 or a 7. I'll show you the box really quick. The form of the box is just a foldable cardboard box. It's nothing like Roja Dove or nothing like Electimus or anything like that, but it creates the atmosphere that you're getting the luxury packaged in from the way that it is well constructed. You have all the information on the back for the fragrance. The front is a sticker closed flap. It opens and unfolds. You have a tab here that you pull forward. I'll try to keep that in frame. Folds out, and then it's snug inside of a cutout style cardboard box. Now, this is not a box that I will keep in my collection, but it is one that tells you that they've done a great attention to detail. Now, if you're one who keep your boxes, things like that, you may knock this as a person that keeps their boxes like a Rose of Parfum or a Xerjoff, because that is a much more elevated step. Those are the 9s and 10s. But when we talk about packaging, this is not as simple as some that you see in the market at the 3 and 4. So 5, 6, or 7 is what I'll get this, and I'll leave that in the description when I do my formal rating. But I enjoy the packaging. It's something that is secure. It's something that shows that they gave a great look at detail. And Cuir Velours, velvet skin, a gloved hand souvenir with immortelle tobacco and a Ricontrol. I'm not sure what that is, by Julien Rasquinet. Eau de Parfum, vaporization, made in France, 50 ml bottle. That's what you get here on the packaging. So like I stated, that's going to be a 5, 6 in its category of packaging, maybe even a 7, because I do like the way these bottles look. Actually, they're not the most formal, but the way they feel, the tactile feel, the thickness of the glass, the weight of the glass, and the actual atomizer make it a great presentation. Next, let's move on to wearability and seasonality. So it's because I made a list the other day, my Connoisseur's conversation or capsule selection that talked about this particular thread. I actually highlighted this one, and I felt that this does not have enough shine in the community. And what other better time to talk about this than in the season that it's best worn in, which is cool weather. It's a cool weather masterpiece, and I'm not saying that lightly. I'm saying that this is a cool weather masterpiece. This is rich, it's warm, and it's inviting, and that's what you want from cool weather. It's perfect for fall and winter evenings. It leans into a great date night fragrance. So if you're going out to restaurants locally, if you're going to open air markets, if you're going to cider meals, if you're going out to anything that has a feel of hand in hand cuddle and date night, you're going to want to wear a fragrance like this. This one in particular is one that you should pull for, because it's not high price point. It's around $200. It's one It has a stupendous scent profile. And if you're talking about going somewhere, like I said, you could, here in Michigan, you can go to Blake's Orchard. You can go into downtown Detroit or downtown Birmingham or even downtown Bloomfield, and you will have the perfect fragrance on either steakhouse, Mexican restaurant, anything of that sort, even a cigar bar. You're going to have the perfect fragrance on for nightlife. The great projection of this one with 5 or 6 sprays is going to be just immensely, it immerses the room in your seduction. And that's why you want this one. So the seasonality on this one is a cool winter, cool fall night, date night, intimate lounges, and rooms where you want to have some command over it. If you're going out to a lounge evening or a a club night, you can wear this as a club night. It's in those veins of things like black from say Bulgari Black, where that's tobacco, feels luxurious and emanates a sex appeal while also being a bit of a sophisticated scent. And so I wouldn't wear this too much in the daytime in the office. That's not this type of scent. This is one is a sensual comparison and companion for you for the moments where you want a subtlety to matter and a sex appeal to matter. So evenings at home, yes. A romantic dinner, yes. A quiet luxury setting, perfect. That's what this one is built for. That's the seasonality and wearability of this particular scent. That's what you buy it for. That's what it's here for, and that's what it does. It becomes sexy and appealing for you. So last, when we talk about the rating system for me, let's talk about impression and identity. That's demographic, that's how it smells, that's who it gives off an impression for and to. And for me, this is not about flash. This is about intimacy. This is about compliments. This is about where they come to deep, sensual conversation and not airspace. This is about really a cuddle scent. So if you're going to be in a situation where you want to be in bed, panty dropper style, within the 3 to 4 hour time span, spray 2 on your shoulder, 1 on your neck, 1 on each wrist, let it melt into your skin. 3 to 4 hours later, you will have an irresistible scent cloud that won't be too ostentatious when making love. That's why you want this particular scent. The demographic for this one is ideal for men and women. It's a unisex scent. In their late 20s to 50s, this is great scent profile. People who appreciate niche artistry, subtle sexuality, and subtle gourmand frills as well can have an emotive texture on their skin that really gives that to the person around them. The masculinity factor on this one is thoroughly technically unisex. I think it leans mostly masculine in that soft range of Suede tobacco rum. So that masculine feel that you'll get from this one with the leather tobacco rum is one that you've come used to in scent profiles and everything from a scent like Initio, Side Effect, and beyond. While this one to me leans a little more even masculine than Side Effect. But this is even more a sophisticated swagger than that as well. And that's why I'm bringing this to your attention, because if you're a fan of a scent like that, you will love what the scent of Cuir Velours does. It feels like you're stepping into a bygone era. It feels like you're stepping into a velvet clad room. It feels like you're talking and being someone who wants to be the full story of the evening for the person in front of you. That's what the wearer is, and that's who the wearer is, and this is what it does for the wearer. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been my video for you guys today. I hope as always you guys got something, just a notion of what it is to wear Cuir Velours. On my scale, I give it a 100 point graph scale. And so I'm going to rate this one at an 88 to 87 point graph scale. That's going to be a tactile gourmand, a suede elevated scent that has an elegant layer and emotional sincerity to it. It's a fragrance that has memory. It's one that creates memories. It's one that writes a novel for you, basically, if you wear this enough. It's one that has a gentleman built into it, a legacy for one who wants to scent themselves in a story time moment. I always preached and I've always stated that these things, they tell a story. They put you into a factor of remembrance for someone. And so for me, I would say that this one has been the perfect scent profile to add to my collection when I'm thinking of leather, suede, tobaccos, immortelle, honey, and rum. That's the perfect note list for anyone going into fall and winter of 2025.